All right, Lindsay, thank you so much for doing this conversation with me on how God is working in your business. I'm going to go ahead and just let you take over and ask the question, how is God working in your business?
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Tasha. So just looking into this new year, 2019, I know a lot of people like to start reading their Bible from the start, and I'm no different. I started over this year, and I've noticed, this year's really popping out. It's really coming alive, and I see application for my business and for my family in it. And so I was reading out of Matthew chapter 7, and I wanted to bring to you a little lesson about the difference between hearing and putting things into practice. So I always thought about the wise and the foolish builder who built their home on the rock versus on the sand. Of course, the wise one on the rock and the foolish one on the sand. I never realized that they both actually heard the news about God, the relationship that he's sharing with them, that he's speaking, that they actually had, like, their ears were filled, like auditorily, however that word goes. The word hear is there. And I always just thought that one of them heard, and that's how come he was wise, and that the other one didn't hear, and that's how come he wasn't wise. But what it says is that they both heard, but only one of them put into practice. So I had to go do like the little definition of like what is hearing and what is putting into practice. Well, hearing it's simply your sense of hearing. Like, do your ears work? So both of these guys, their ears work. But the second guy, let's see about practice. He's got the actual application of the idea, belief, or method. He's also got implementation, execution, action, and he's doing something. So the difference, they both had the sound waves in their ears, but one of them got up and got to work and got going and took action. And so I think about my family and my business. I want them both stronger, and I want them both, growing towards the Lord. And so for me, this is a real big lesson of, am I actually, looking for ways to live it out? Am I really receiving it into my heart? What's going on? And I just love how that word hearing popped out. Like, it's not like there's another step between like the sound waves and the action. And in a couple of verses later, it talks a little bit about listening. And so I think there might even be a third step in between where you focus, you actually concentrate on what the heck it is that you're hearing. And I think that's probably what leads to action there. So I don't know if you guys could, kind of follow that. I'm kind of a little bit all over the place on it, but it really popped out to me because I want to have a strong downline and I want to have a strong family. And so, Tasha, I know you'd asked me about implementation, what we're doing, and you happened to catch me on a really special day because I think this has been in the works for years, but our team came together today for the first time for our first ever prayer call. And we've decided to start meeting every morning, Monday through Friday, for just 10 minutes and come on and share prayer requests and then pray for each other. And we're just keeping it nice and sweet and brief to the point. And then we're going on with the rest of our day because we've got, families to take care of, businesses to work and everything else. But I have to tell you, it was just beautiful having those leaders come on this morning. Some of them have been in the business a long time. Some are just starting out, wouldn't even call themselves those business builders yet. We had some cross-line on the call as well. And it was just a really sweet time of just, getting our hearts all aligned. Like, so many of us in this industry love the Lord. Like, I'm so glad you started this, Tasha. But to bring that consistency of morning, coming together and praying, I think that's going to, add the strength. And I think that's going to be one way that our team can really put it into practice, not simply hear, but actually put it into practice, what we're learning from the Lord.
I love that.
Yeah.
I had not ever thought about that parable that way either, is that both heard and one, they made a decision, right? I'm going to decide to build it on this foundation, or I'm going to decide to build it on this foundation. In your opinion, what is the sand in network marketing and what is the rock?
Oh gosh. I would say just shortcuts. And I mean, I think that's why this jumps out to me, is because I've been in a rebuilding season. It's like when you're desperate. It's like when I'll build this business with anyone. Something I used to struggle with is I wanted to share my product with the entire world, like all 7 billion people. I really did want to, like, I wanted to help that many people. But now I see I'm human and I can't reach that far, and that, delegation is necessary and raising up leaders. But not only that, but I really want to find, Christ-like leaders that are going to have similar hearts and goals and dreams as I do. And so it's not just everybody who will run off to business with now. These people are going to be my best friends. They're going to be the ones I spend time with. And we're spending 10 minutes on the phone each day praying together. So the foundation, I think, is when you take the time to know who you are, to talk to God, to ask him, like, what does he want? Be willing to maybe even build a little slower sometimes, like the slow and steady, which that's been really hard for me always, though, because I'm a very competitive person. I'm learning, like, if you don't build it right the first time, then you're going to come back and you're going to build it right the next time, and then you're already like sweaty from the first time, right?
There is, gosh, who said that quote? I never remember who say quotes, and that's so bad. But if you don't have time to do it right the first time, what makes you think you'll have time to do it over?
Right.
And
yeah.
I get that. I get this. I realized even this past week, like a minor meltdown on Wednesday, because I like throttled up all my prospect. Like I was like, let's go, full steam ahead. And then quickly booked myself into a frenzy. And that's not helpful for anyone, because then, things fall through the cracks and such. So.
Right. Well, and earlier in the week, it's hard. My husband has a fluctuating schedule. And so sometimes he's off Monday, Tuesday, sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. My children are always home on the weekends. So I feel like I need to be available to them all the time. So how do I fit my business in there? I'll go, it'd be great to start my day and just pray, like, God, what do you want me to do today? And I felt on Sunday that he was saying, don't schedule anything else for Monday and Tuesday. Like, keep what's already in there and don't schedule anything else. Well, he filled the rest of the day with business, and I was not even trying. And not only that, but, I'm out running my personal errands, and everybody wants my business card, wants an appointment with me, wants a sample. Like, everyone, like 7 new leads in 48 hours, not even trying, because I used to sit there and like, how can I put this product into the conversation? How could I, One lady, I didn't even have time to talk to her. I just said, here's my business card. I feel like we should get together. Text me. Knowing that never happens, right? Like maybe once every other year, someone will actually, with all the information, right? She texts me back. I'm like, these are miracles. So I asked God to show up and, teach me to rest or fill my schedule with work, whatever. And he did. So
that's so cool.
I try that some more.
Yeah. And then I hope you're wiser than I am, because I'll do that when I'm like, okay, gotta really, like, obviously I don't have my crap together. And then like, I'll kind of get it, like the title, like it'll all go, and then I'll stop doing that and then wonder what happened, like a dummy. That's what I do. So I hope that you're wiser than me on that.
Yeah. Consistency is huge. I know when I mentioned about doing our prayer call, Monday through Friday, I think a couple people were like, oh, wow, like that's pretty often. But that consistency, think about in our business. Isn't that what our business coach teaches us all the time? It's like those small daily wins are what's going to really add up. I even think it will help people show up to the calls. It's just every day we work,
Mm-hmm.
And we ask the Lord, like, do what you'll have with this. If you want to make it more days, if you want to make it less, like over time, we'll see. And we don't know how big it will be. Like if it will get so big, we can't have it limited to just 10 minutes, but that's where we surrender it and let him move in and make it what it's going to be.
That's so good. I love that. Is there anything else you want to share with community?
Well, I guess the only other thing I want to share is my business name is Oil Joy LLC. And I feel like that word joy has been super important to me and my business. It's been how I really connected with God, especially the last 2 years. Last 2 years have been really, really hard and on a lot of different levels for me. And I was celebrating gratitude every day. and used it as a formula to bring me joy. It was awesome. So Tasha, when you started talking about your wins and everything, I thought this is perfect. This fits right into my joy formula, and I find God there in it. But when I was reading a couple chapters later in Matthew, I was reading about the little seeds that were planted, and joy not being quite enough. The plant still didn't survive. And so that's just got me thinking about, if joy isn't enough, then what do I need to pursue? And what I'm learning is you need to have a deeper faith than just that, get so excited. So like if you're hearing my idea about, starting a prayer call with your team, like, get so excited, and then, maybe it's hard in a couple of weeks, like don't give up, like stick with it, or ask God, what he'd have you do next. So I'm saying as I'm moving into a new season where let's go for those deeper roots and not just the surface level joy. And now with our company, we're going to be heading to leadership retreat next week. And I usually come home all on fire. And so I'm thinking, how can I apply that coming home from leadership and not just get that burnout that we talk about? How can I really sustain this and just transfer it on and encourage my team on a deeper level?
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Lindsay, for taking your time today to do this video with me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tasha.
I love your background.
Thanks.
The emerged teal.
Exactly. There you go. Bye.
It matches my emerged shirt.
Oh, I noticed your window back there too for the incentive trip, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's for the incentive trip, but I was like, I need something back there. I got to do a little decorating.
Sounds good to me.
I love incentive trips. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, we'll see you. Thank you.